Hello and welcome to the Book Broads podcast. This podcast was recorded on Sunday, September 27th, 2009 at the Word on the Street in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm Angela Crocker, and today I'll be talking with award-winning children's author and illustrator Cynthia Nugent about her latest book, Fred and Pete at the Beach, from Orca Books. Welcome, Cynthia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm so excited and pleased to have you here. I've been a huge fan of your books since Mr. Gotta Go.
Wow.
And every time I drive by the Sylvia Hotel, I think about him.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
And over your career, you've published a number of books, and it's a wonderful website where you promote your work and talk about things going on in your book life. And I particularly like the way that you use video. There's some short films with Ron McDougall related to Fred and Pete at the Beach. How does the video on your website enhance your books?
Well, the fact that the story is using photographs of real dogs, and there was a real human that Fred and Pete lived with, and that's Ron McDougall. And he has such a charming story. The fact that he was waiting to see if his mother, who had passed on, had picked out a book for him, a dog for him at the SPCA, was such an unusual and eccentric story. I was really charmed by it, and so he tells it quite well. So I thought it would be really nice just to have a video of him. I just wanted to use as many media as possible to engage readers at the blog, so I've included some games and some activities and hopefully some songs.
Oh, fun!
Yes, with chords and sing-along video.
Fabulous. Well, that enrichment content that really adds to a child's experience of the book is absolutely wonderful. One of my nieces, she's little Ella, she was on and did a couple of the coloring pages of Fred and Pete. And
excellent.
I didn't bring them today, but I will get them to you in the post, and already a big fan of
my first colors.
Yeah.
Well, I loved coloring when I was, and word games, and I liked paint by numbers very much.
Yes,
and
of course.
So people always think that if you're an artist that you only want to be completely free, but actually it's very satisfying to paint in spaces.
I kind of like paint by number every once in a while myself. Well, your website also offers a sneak peek at one of your upcoming books. It's called, or at least the working title is The Ducks of Nitobe Garden.
Yes.
And you talk a little bit about the process that you're going through. And as both the author and an illustrator, how do you balance that writing and drawing process to create the book?
It's actually not a balancing act at all. It's for most illustrators, I think, look forward to the time when they'll be writing and illustrating their own books. Illustrators tend to be quite different than painters, for instance. Illustrators are very bookish. They tend to be very linear thinkers, where people that are painters, like landscape painters or expressionist painters, tend to think much more imagistically and less in a linear way than illustrators. So actually, illustrators are very much like writers in the way our brains work. And the art we do is very much like a little play or a movie. It's very narrative, and we do think in story and you know, in scenes. So it's actually not a different process at all. As far as I'm concerned, writing is much easier than illustration. My own background is literature. I have a degree in English literature, minoring in Italian literature, and a year of graduate studies in comparative literature.
Oh, wow.
So really that's the way my brain works. And so for me to be able to write the story is quite simple. To be able to paint it is a huge struggle and a huge challenge. Painting is really quite difficult.
So what drives you on to continue to paint your own stories?
Well, I think there's such a thing as serious pleasures.
I like that expression, serious pleasures. Okay.
Yeah, just and people, I think, that haven't found the pleasures of study, I think are missing out on a lot.
I know you've brought a couple of things to share with me, Cynthia, about the artwork in Fred and Pete at the Beach.
Okay. It's very interesting because it's real photographs of dogs, and I cut them out like this, and then I can paste them on to a painting done in acrylic. So here's one of the illustrations, and here's a printout of the photographs, and I would cut those out and paste them in. And so that's how the entire book was done. And it has a bizarre kind of, you can see exactly how it works. You can see the edge of the photograph. You can tell it's a photograph against a painted background. The mechanism is completely transparent. And yet, it's totally believable, which is I love it. So I did, originally I did a book for, the CD cover and insert for Books for BC Babies. Last year with CBC.
Yes.
And so I did the cover with drawing a galaxy sky, a dark sky with stars and planets, and put lots of flying babies on it. So it was photographs and painting together, and it's very, very fun to do. So I'm hoping to put a demo up on the blog so people at home can do it themselves.
Fabulous. Tell us your blog address.
It's fredandpete@thebeach.com.
That'll be easy to find. Thank you very much, Cynthia.
You're welcome.
The Book Broads are Angela Crocker,
Kimberly Plumley,
and Peggy Richardson.
Together we write, speak, and consult on publishing, marketing, social media, and publicity in the world of books.
Head on over to thebookbroads.com for more podcasts, blog posts, and details about how to find us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
You know, the Book Broads can be found in the real world wherever words are celebrated. Meet the Broads at Book Camp Vancouver, the Surrey International Writers Conference, and the Making a Scene Conference in October. The end!
end.